Hey everybody, Srini here from Unmistakable Creative, and today I want to talk about how to use templates inside of Mem. First, let's talk about why you would use templates. Templates do a couple of things. First, they help you save time. Second, they help you avoid making mistakes for things that you've done 1,000 times. It's kind of like a pre-flight checklist. If you've ever been on an airplane, you know that there's a pre-flight checklist that a pilot has to complete before you can actually take off. And if you've ever been delayed sitting on the tarmac, it's probably because something in the pre-flight checklist didn't work out. Sometimes they're missing parts. Otherwise, things get messy and you don't get to your destination safely. That's why it's so important that pilots have a pre-flight checklist. And templates are kind of the same. And there are a couple of different times when you're going to want to use them. The first is for anything that you do that's repetitive. The other is when you have the same structure, but the content is different. So for example, meeting notes, book notes, projects, and the daily mem is an example, all of which can be customized. So let's look at a few examples. The first one is book notes. So to create a template in Mem, you go over to flows, and then you'll see here that there are a couple of built-in templates, but you can actually go and create your own. And to create a template, all you have to do is click up here in the top right-hand corner and click Create Template. So I have a couple of different templates, as you can see here. The first one is book notes. And part of the reason I have a template for book notes is because I have so many books that I've read, just because I host a podcast and I interview people and I read every book of every guest. So I tend to put book notes in here. Now, the nice thing about doing this is that rather than having to create each one of these from scratch, I can actually just go up here and I can type in book notes, and you'll see it gives me an option to create book notes from a template. And then I can just fill in the author, the topics, and insert the title, but the tags for book notes and the category tags are already there. Another example is something like a weekly metrics review. So for example, every week I go through a set of metrics. And so rather than having to write in everything from scratch, I actually created a metrics review that I have here, which is tagged metrics. And you can see here I have different sources that I'm pulling from. One is Plausible, which gives me website traffic, ConvertKit, which gives me email subscribers, ConvertFlow gives me my subscriber numbers, and then Mercury is my bank account. So every week I can actually just create this at the end of the week by going up and typing metrics. And then if I go to metrics, I'll actually see all of the various metrics that I already have here. So that's another example of how you can use templates. And then finally, the other thing that I recently did was I created a checklist for podcast episodes. So sometimes I forget to do things like upload a headshot of the guest to our database so that our designer can do an album cover for that person. But usually I have an idea for the title right after I finish recording the interview. So I actually created a checklist to make sure that I don't forget. And I can just go here and I can press podcast post-production checklist, and then I have this checklist that I can follow through after every single episode. So creating templates saves you a ton of time. It's super easy, and you can create templates for just about anything that you do more than once. And so for example, you can see here I have a course launch checklist that I could use, and basically you can see here that I have all the sort of high-level components of creating an online course. So in a nutshell, that's how you use and create templates in Mem. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments on the video.